visit their store. And thank you for shopping local and supporting your local businesses. Any parent watching the show this morning knows quite well how quickly your kids can fall into some kind of injury, a bit of an emergency situation. And let's face it, quite frankly, the last thing you want to do is go sit and wait at the ER. Well, there's luck for you now, because in Hixson, we now have urgent care for children. Anna Peacock joins us from her home quarters in Birmingham, talking about this newest expansion of the business in the Chattanooga area. Great to see you this morning.
Good morning, Julie. Thanks for having us.
I have been that mom far more times than I would like to admit, where your child gets hurt and you're not quite sure if it warrants a trip to the emergency room or not, but you hate to go through the night with them hurting. How nice to have a place like yours to turn.
Yeah, we are just truly honored to be serving the Chattanooga area, especially in Hixson. We're just thrilled to be on Highway 153 across from CHI Memorial Hospital. So our goal is to serve as an affordable and alternative to the emergency room for children ages 0 to 21 in the after hours. So on-site lab, x-ray, pharmacy, you name it, we can do it.
So when you say offer yourself as an alternative, I always kind of looked at it, Anna, like I wanted to be a good steward of the medical resources out there, because I think of the emergency room as being just for that very purpose, a real kind of crisis. But if your child maybe has sprained an ankle, that doesn't always mean a trip to the emergency room is warranted.
Right, and I think that's how a lot of parents feel these days. Oh, my child has an earache, but I really hate to go sit in the emergency room for 4 hours and really stand in line ahead of someone who really needs to be there for something more urgent. So that's where Urgent Care for Children steps in. Our hours are really convenient, so we're open from 2 to 10 on the weekdays and 8 to 6 on the weekends. So those after hours needs, we're able to treat those. We see everything from RSV, flu, strep, even COVID-19, you name it, we can do it.
And you mentioned to me that it's all pediatric staff. So you have a pediatrician who's typically the one who is there, as well as a nurse practitioner, right?
Right. So we are headquartered in Birmingham, and we have 8 locations in the state of Alabama and 2 in the state of Tennessee. And I will go ahead and tell you one little thing. We are looking to have a second Chattanooga area location, but more on that to come. But yes, we really focus on hiring all pediatric staff. So that means pediatric nurse practitioner and a pediatrician, because we believe that these children deserve to have specialized care in the after hours. Given that we are physician owned and operated, our owners know that it's important for these children to get access to that quality care without having to go to the emergency room if they don't need to be there.
Okay, the kids in this age bracket might take exception to what I'm going to say, but as a parent, I think it's great that you extend your ages from 0 all the way up to 21. That means if you've got a child home from college for the summer, they can still go.
Right. So if they're home for the summer and, hey, Mom, I think I broke a bone, or, whatever happens during the summer, we're here for that. And so we're really proud. I'm talking newborns. We see newborns all the way up to age 21. So that's a pretty wide gap. But we take pride in being able to service our communities with that type of care for children of ultimately all ages.
Okay, you also are not wanting to replace the role of the pediatrician, so you really are there for those kind of after hours, last minute needs, not the let's schedule a sports physical needs.
Right, and I'm really glad you brought that up, because we really focus on partnering with local pediatricians. We believe that's so important to serve as a continuum of care for these families, and so we do not do sports physicals, immunizations, or well visits. So we really refer back to their primary care pediatrician for those things, because it's important that they have a medical home that serves as the place they go to for those things, and we're strictly there for the after hours needs. And I will add that we send a 1-page summary fax to their pediatrician following their visit with us, so that way their pediatrician can do that follow-up and stays in the loop the whole time.
Well, that's a great thing to do. I think that if you put a group of moms together, especially with young kids, say 12 and under, they probably would begin to kind of nudge each other and say, I was so nervous because I had to take my child back to the emergency room or back to the after hours clinic. That's just what happens when you're raising kids. Things happen. So I think it's nice that you have kind of a continuity of staff on board. It'll feel like family over time.
Right. And so we really just work to provide that continuum of care as an affordable alternative to the emergency room and allow these pediatricians to stay in the loop the entire time. So when you go back to them, you don't have to remember what medication your child was given with us. That's sent straight to the provider so that they can see and continue that care that they need.
So, okay, we have a minute left. If they come to you, by the way, your hours are 2 to 10 during the weekday, 8 to 6 on the weekends. Is that right?
That's right. We're open
Okay.
365 days a year.
So if they come to you, they're on site, you can do x-rays, certain types of diagnostic, and then if you need to do more in-depth, you can refer them to the hospital. Is that right?
Right. If a child comes in and you say, hey, they have a laceration that we think needs stitches, can you guys do it? Our doctor will be happy to come to the front and evaluate the situation and see what's needed. And if the child needs to go to the emergency room, of course, we will send them there. Our team will not attempt to do something that we feel needs to go to the emergency room. But for the most part, we're proud to be able to serve as an affordable alternative to the emergency room for the issues that are more minor.
Well, we are glad that you chose Chattanooga as a place to expand. So thanks so much for your time this morning, Anna. Go ahead
Thank you so much.
and write down the number and the address. It's Urgent Care for Children, right now located on Highway 153 in Hixson. But as she mentioned, watch for a second location more in town in Chattanooga to be coming in the days to come. 664-1151, the phone number. childrensurgent.com is the website. We're back after this.
Seems like CBD stores are popping up on every